Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to Crusader Kings 3, the Royal Court expansion. What does this expansion add? Well, for the most part, it's actually just adding, culture stuff. So, the first thing I actually want to do, before I, actually, pick to play anything, I'm just gonna play generic France, because I want to look at, how do you look at cultures here? Cultures. I want to look at the cultures of the game and all that stuff. Oh, is this one blue chivalry? Then it's blue and that one's oh, okay. They're just there in different. Okay, that's really weird to me. Okay, so each culture now has their own tradition-y thingies. And you can see Frankish heritage, Central Germanic heritage, Bithyrantic heritage. Okay. So I want to look at the French stuff. The French got hella content. Okay, so chivalry. Can spar against own knights in single combat to gain modifiers. Successfully executing romance scheme gives renown. Failing in romance scheme gives stress. Rulers are more likely to start the romance scheme. The poet and gallant traits give significant romance scheme bonuses. Heavy cavalry damage and toughness. That's pretty good. And tyranny gain. That's a negative. Hereditary hierarchy. Rulers with poor education trades are distrusted. You can't lose tyranny, so you gain more tyranny and you can't lose it. But your feudal vassals give you more tax and you can build castles cheaper. Chanson de Geste. Anyone French? Chanson de Geste. I'm assuming the E at the end doesn't count. You can unlock the valet innovation in the late medieval era. Is that the, yeah, that's their super mega... Is that their super mega heavy cavalry? The gendarmes. Is that the heavy cavalry? I think so. Poet trade is more bonuses. So poet trade, French poets are really big. Martial education traits are more valued. The bumbling square, confident knight, formidable men of enchantment traits are more valued. The blade master traits have additional bonuses. The craven and content traits are looked down upon. Knights are slightly more prone to injury during battles. That's fair. May challenge rivals to single conflict. Inflicting stress of units who challenge people to combat, don't kill them, then just insult them to death. You get more knights, and you get injury resistance. But French knights, oh no, French knights are probably better because the martial education traits are more valued, and your traits are more valued, and the blade master traits have more bonuses. So the French fight really well. The French are basically a poet and warrior culture. They stab people and then make a song about stabbing you. Fair enough. All the German cultures are different. I didn't think they would all be different. Okay, Greek. Eastern Roman legacy. Recruitment cost and maintenance reduction for men-at-arms. Levy size reduction. Levy reinforcement rate reduction. Max size of heavy infantry regiments +2. Max size of heavy cavalry regiments +2. That looks extraordinarily overpowered. Plus you just start with cataphracts. Hello, Mars. So the French just get to be overpowered again? Why do they always just, or not the French, the Greeks, why do they always just make the Byzantines overpowered? I swear to fucking God, it happens every time. They're addicted to making the French overpowered. Not the French, the Greeks. There we go again. Formation fighting experts. Pursuit efficiency reduction. Men-at-arms counter efficiency increase. Spearman and archer damage and toughness. Light cav and skirmisher damage and toughness. Reduction. Man, this one just kind of pisses me off because levies are bad and men-at-arms are good. And getting your men-at-arms maintenance reduced by 15% that early in the game is such a big deal. Particularly because you can stack maintenance modifiers down so that you can keep, you can get them really fucking cheap. So once again, the Byzantines just get to be crazy. Even though they were already crazy. Okay, law cost penalty for rem size reduction. So you gain more tyranny, monthly prestige per dread. If you have dread, you lose prestige. Ooh. Title creation cost reduction, vassal limit increase. Okay. Byzantine traditions, short range duration increase, elemental child opinion. Hostile scheme power. Hostile scheme power plus 25%. Hello Mars. Again, you can blind, you can castrate, the eunuch trait is bonuses. Children born to ruler holding the Byzantine Empire may gain the born in the purple trait, taking precedence in line of succession. That gives you short range duration reduction, but not enough to equal the duration penalty, and then you get more prestige. Hello Mars, a third time. Turks, they'd be the Ogas. They get horse lords. I'm assuming everyone here gets horse lords. Yeah, everyone here gets horse lords, even the Bulgars. The Vlach people get it? No. So the Mordvins are the first people who don't get horse lords. What did the Mordvins do? They did not add new starting dates, no. I'm playing CK3 Mars, and this it's not it's Q-Mania. Yeah, basically everyone gets horse lords. Alright, so let's look at it. Horse lords gives you... You can retrain horse archers, okay. Gain a decision to recruit open terrain commanders. That's good. Movement speed increase is really good. Supply duration is pretty good. Can negate supply penalty in step, yes. Huh. Then you get light cavalry damage and screen. Now remember, horse archers aren't light cavalry. They're skirmishers. So this is pushing you to use horse archers and light cavalry. Sword for hire. Wanderers gain extra combat skills over time, such as martial prowess or commander traits. Knights and mercenary corps rapidly gain prowess. Idle courtiers are more likely to become wanderers. Available mercenary companies plus 100%. Same culture mercenary hire cost minus 15%. That's pretty good. Do they all get warrior culture? Oh, no. So everyone gets horse lords. A lot of people get swords for hire. A lot of people get warrior culture. Do they all get warrior culture, actually? No, they don't all get warrior culture. So what does warrior culture do? Strong or hale are seen as prestigious. The strong trait is more common. The strong trait is genetic. How can you genetically be stronger? More common. What, you just convert to Ogas? And then you just, like, genetically, you just grow muscles? Sometimes I forget... Sometimes I think the developers forget that they made strong a genetic trait. Because, yeah. Traits such as weak or delicate are looked down upon. Children are more likely to gain rowdy. Children are more likely to gain pensive. Cultural fascination progress minus 10%. So you guys get strong, but you don't get as much technology. Ruling caste. Different culture, peasant factions and populist factions are less common. Culture acceptance gain reduction. Dread decay increase, dread gain per tyranny increase, siege progress against revolts increase. So, different cultures are less likely to rebel, but they're also less likely to accept you. Okay. Andalusian gains xenophilic. So you love other cultures. Different cultures have a higher opinion of you. You don't hate other cultures at all, ever. And you get a cultural acceptance gain. Plus you speak Arab instead of Berber. I guess. Hit and run tacticians. Your retreat losses are reduced. Your friendly fatal casualties are reduced. Advantage -2? Isn't that a massive fucking penalty? Did they mean that to be +2? Hello? That means that all Andalusians fight at a -2, but why? Their light cav damage and skirmisher damage is increased, they get more screen, but the -2 advantage basically beats anything else here. And then siege weapon effectiveness -20%. I think they typoed. A -2 advantage is ridiculous. Even if it was -1, I'd be like, eh. Well, I mean, you get good screening so you can retreat, and you get light cav and skirmisher damage. If it was like a -1 advantage, I think that might be fair. But a -2? That's basically like you lose 2 martial. That's basically like all your commanders have -2 martial, you know? It's not the biggest deal in the world, but it just feels odd. So expert artisans mean Andalusians get to produce lots of artifacts and build a lot. So Andalusians are really good at ruling, they're good at building, they're not so great at fighting. Castilians, oh, okay, so Castilians, the other people also get hit and run. So it's not so bad, because Castilians get hit and run as well. This guy's Castilian, right? Yeah, okay, so the 2 kingdoms here get hit and run, so I get -2 advantage as well. So you're not up shit creek without a paddle here. So Castilians and Andalusians will be able to run away from each other a lot. Now, Galician, well, let's look at the rest of Castilian. We got martial admiration. You get, this is the same thing the French had, right? No, the French just get a literal better version of this. Okay. The French are just better than the Spanish. Okay. So the French get the better version of this. This makes you... Your knights get injured more, but you get more knights. But when they do get injured, they resist it. Blade Master gets additional bonus. Craven and Content are looked down on. Martial Education's more valued. Some traits, or you can challenge rivals to single combat. The French are really good at poems, and they're really good at dueling people. Because, yeah, so the thing is, when you combine Chanson de Guest with Chivalry, Chivalry allows you to spar against your knights to gain bonuses. Then Chanson makes the Blade Master get additional bonuses. So basically the French get to practice duel a lot and become extremely good at dueling. So the French are going to be really good at fighting. The Castilians, they get hit and run, which makes them good at running. They get castle keepers. So their castles are extremely defendable with 5 advantage per holding level. That's fucking insane. They get prestige and renown for holding castles. The architect trait provides prestige bonuses. Rulers' culture are more likely to construct castles. Rulers' culture are more likely to construct buildings that increase fort level. Their castle holdings cost more and take more time to produce, but this 5 defender advantage, that's gotta be nerfed. That basically means the Castilians will not lose on the defense. I'm not sure that's how it's supposed to be. Because 5 fort level, that's a lot. That's a lot of fort level. And then they get chivalry, which is weird because the Spanish don't actually get a unique heavy cavalry. It's 5 advantage per fort, per holding level as well. Not just 5 advantage per holding level. So, the Castilians, I guess this is their push to try to finally make the Spanish conquer Andalusia. Do we consider Andalusians Spanish? I mean, they are, technically. If you're in this one, Esterleanese, but this is a dead culture. I'm fairly certain. Does anyone even... Yeah, no one is even this culture at game start. It gets hit and run tactics, mountaineers, and fervent temper builders. Tempers gives you fervor. Okay. No, this is the Spanish. The Spanish are all about turtling. They run in their castles, get an insane defender advantage, fight in it, then just retreat, don't take any casualties, and go back. The French just get really fucking good knights, and a lot of them. Plus their heavy cavalry are better. Now Galicians... Are Galicians at game start? No, all 3 of these are Castilians, so... Galicians... Okay, so agrarian. The content trait is more common. Children tend to do slightly worse in a martial education. So agrarian doesn't allow you to fight. You get recruitment cost increase for men-at-arms, and you get -2 prowess for all your knights. So Galician characters do not like to fight. However, they get development growth in farmlands plus 30%, building construction cost in farmlands reduction, levy size in farmlands, and then the same in floodplains. But here's my issue. There are no farmlands or floodplains here. Not even one. So... I think they might have fucked this up a little bit. Districts fixment, coastal advantage. I mean, that's pretty good. Plus 5. Coastal holdings and counties as culture provide additional defender advantage. Okay, I mean, that's pretty good too. Highland warriors, supply limit in hills, levy size in hills, rough terrain expert, more common. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty neat. What else do we have here? I'm gonna look at Egyptian. Egyptian gets philosopher culture. Children are more likely to gain pensive. They're less likely to gain rowdy. Learning education traits and the scholar trait also give cultural fascination progress. So the Egyptians get lots of technology. They get the Mubarism. I'm pretty sure all the Arabs get that. Yeah, all the Arabs get the Mubarism. Although wait, the Andalusians don't. Oh, but the Maghrebi people do. Okay, neat. Okay, so they also get agrarian. So this one is impactful. So yeah, the development, growth, building, and levy in floodplains, and yeah, this is floodplains. So agrarian for Egyptian is good. Yeah, culture traits are new to today. So the Egyptians get lots of technology, but they don't fight so well, but they get to build up their land, and then they get a high levy size. Now remember, development growth also gives you levy size, so it's a levy size multiplier that's also going to be on a levy size multiplier, and they get building cost reduction. They also get the Mubarizun. Anyone Arabic in chat? I don't know. I'm not gonna pronounce the French words right, and we're not gonna pronounce the Arab words right, and we're just gonna have to deal with it. Let's see. This gives them obviously the unique Mubarizun men at arms. Desert warrior commander trait is more common. You also get some extra dry terrain bonuses on other traits. You can recruit a dry terrain expert. Supply limit in desert increase, levy size in desert increase, supply limit in drylands, and levy size in drylands. So, yeah. Strong believers. Zealous trade is more common. Humble trade is more common. Characters less likely to accept conversion. County conversion resistance increase. Opinion of different faiths decrease. So, even if you conquer Egypt, it's going to be difficult. Although, it'll even be difficult to push out the Coptics then, at that rate. So, Egypt won't have it as easily converting away from the Coptic people. That's it. So, they get less powerful people, but they get to sit back and tech up and build up really hard. Are you looking at the Kurds? I don't think anyone would ever play a Kurd. They don't start in a particularly good position. Syriac? What is Syriac? I've never seen that before. Kurdish. Swords for hire, mountain homes, eye for an eye, food. What's the Ayar? Oh, that's the Iranian unit. So they get mercenaries, a lot of mercenaries. They defend mountains, eye for an eye. They're just dreadful and vengeful. They get lots of rivalries and dread and hostile scheme success transfers as rivals. So they're good at sitting in mountains and hiring mercenaries. Oh, Futuwa. This is the Ayar. Oh, okay, so the Iranians can also spar against their own knights to gain modifiers. So it's not just the French that can do that with chivalry. By the way, chivalry is actually a French word. So Futawa. Futuwa. They get more knights. Their knights get injury resistance. They're more prone to be injured. So it's the same thing as a French trait, but instead of getting more knights, the French get heavy combat damage and toughness. So Persians, refined poetry. You get more poets, and they perform really well when you make them a poet. Philosopher culture, it's the same thing as the Egyptians. They just get more fascination, and under the learning lifestyle, they're better. Garden architects, they can get the Royal Gardens Duchy building. You can get a court gardener. You can recruit characters with a gardener trait. Drylands dwellers. Desert architecture line of buildings have additional bonuses. You get development growth in oh wow. The development growth in desert is plus 35. The development growth in drylands is plus 15. And their desert and drylands construction cost is reduced. Now, hold on here. If I'm remembering right, desert. Desert gives you negative 50%. Drylands gives you negative 5%. So, actually, the Persians turn. Well, hold on here. Hold on, am I reading this right? Yeah, the Persians turn dry land into almost as good as farmland. Desert is still not great, but desert isn't even that bad. This trade is actually kind of really fucking good if you're left in a bad position of the world. Like, well, Persia. But Persia can just go get Iran and get the floodplains. But if you're stuck over here, this shit's gonna be pretty well developed. Built up. Russian? Okay, Russian. I forgot Russian culture is still just a giant fucking Russian culture. Okay, so you get you only start with 3. Probably because you're a tribe. Oh no, the other tribes can get 4. Okay, I guess you just got dig. So you got the Druzina. This is the same thing as the other ones. Although this one doesn't allow you. Oh no, you can challenge rivals, but you can't spar against your own people. So you get more knights, you get injury resistance, but you're more slightly to be prone. Blade Master, blah 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 blah, typical stuff. Mendicant Mystics. Your mystics get additional bonuses and are more common. Charismatic. Personal scheme, success chance, enemy scheme. So you're good at schemery. You get more grand courts and you get choosing. This is actually not that interesting. Yeah, I suspected the Swedes would get the most, considering it's a Swedish game. So what, the Danes start with fucking 5? And how many of these are unique? They get, okay, so they get Coastal Warriors, which gives them a bunch of shit. Runestone Razors, Rulers may raise a Runestone, okay, whatever. Tingmeat, Scandinavian Elective, Succession Law. Certain trades such as Brave, Gregarious, Generous, or Blade Master raise popular opinion. Yeah. Is Forest Wardens the same thing? Oh, nope, this is different. So you can get that unique Archer, but the Forestry line of buildings... Oh no, the Forestry line of buildings are better. And you can recruit a Forest Commander, and you get Forest Fighter. You get Development Growth in Taiga and Forest, which is pretty good. Buildings in Forest and Taiga are also good. So if that's plus 15%, that means that this... Yeah, do Forest even have a penalty? No. So, Forest Warden, in addition to giving you a unique unit, in addition to buffing the Forestry line, in addition to giving you Forest Fighter, gives you as much development, like you nearly turn Taiga and Forest is 1066. You nearly turn Taiga and Forest into farmlands, and then make everything there cheaper. So, this is actually one of the best traits I've seen so far, if you're starting in a forested area. Japanese culture? Who now? I don't know any Japan. So, yeah, these people with the Forest Wardens, although apparently not Estonia. Estonia doesn't get to be a... Estonia gets to be Norse? Wait, so the Estonians are more Norse than the Finns. Some Estonian propaganda hit this game. On culture? I think they actually have something unique. Don't they? Rulers can castrate prisoners. The eunuch trait has some additional bonuses. Can appoint the chief eunuch, family business, base progress and skill, impact and consular tasks increased by 10% for close family members. Court position for close family members plus 20%. Lose prestige from revoking titles from close family. Close family opinion plus 5. Okay, I was wrong. They don't actually get anything unique. That shit's kind of boring. What about the Bavarians? Stand and fight. Heavy infantry toughness increase. Heavy infantry maintenance increase. Spearman toughness. Spearman maintenance. Heavy cavalry toughness. Heavy cavalry maintenance. Friendly fatal casualties plus 10%. Defender advantage plus 2. Boy, that's one of the most I've ever seen. It's like, yeah, it's not bad, but is it good? Strong believers, so they don't release their phase. Hereditary hierarchy. That's, was that the one from the French? Yeah, so they lose tyranny much slower. Their long range bonuses increased. Castle holding construction costs reduced. Vassals give them more tax. Yeah, the maintenance on this is pretty bad. If it was like 10% maintenance, but 20? Okay, now what is this one? Parochialism. City holdings give more tax development and levies. City holdings gain significantly lower. City holdings significantly lower control. Okay, so cities are really good for you, but they hate you and you get less control over them. Huh, okay, fair enough. Mountain homes. Your quarries get buffed. You get prestige when completing buildings with mountains or desert mountains. The amount grown mountains increased. Well, how much do mountains give a decrease? Because there's not really actually that many mountains in Swabia. Okay, so you nearly remove the penalty for mountains. Yeah, because most of the mountains are in Cisalpine. That's Swabia. And then industrialists. Gain 25 development growth when a building is constructed. You get more stress, but your buildings build faster. So, I guess they just like to build cities in the mountains. Fair enough. Franconian castle keepers. This is the one, like Castilian. Castles and counties of this culture provide 5 defender advantage per holding level. That just looks so fucking broken. Are you trying to beat the AI that's defending one of their castles? Dear God. And then astute diplomats cannot attack allies. Cannot attack through a truce. Alliance negotiation acceptance plus 50. White peace acceptance plus 10. Can learn 1 additional language without penalty. Neat, I guess. The French need to unlock them Frenchy cultures out of the Germans. What do the Dutch get? Polders. Okay, this is unique. This tradition allows a culture to unlock the adaptive militia innovation in the late medieval era. So that's our unique unit type. The pastoral lands, farms and fields, wetlands, fields, manor houses, and orchards line of buildings have additional bonuses in coastal baronies and counties of this culture. Skirmisher damage increase, skirmisher screen increase. Neat. Maritime mercantilism. Republic vessel opinion plus 10%. Coastal holdings and counties of this culture provide an additional 10% tax. The trade port line of buildings can be constructed 1 era early. And agrarian. So they don't fight so well. The Dutch aren't so great at fighting, but boy oh boy will they build a lot of buildings. And do them really well. Can you form Switzerland? I don't know. Maybe? I mean, that would be like right here, right? Hungarians! Hungarians are agrarian? I'm not so sure about that one, Paradox. The Hungarians are pretty militant, actually. Connie raids. Now that's... Okay, so all the Western Slavs get Connie raids. Connie raids? So retreat losses reduction event. This is just hit and run. Eh. Connie raids is literally hit and run, but you get the Connie men-at-arms. Yeah, I don't think Hungarians are very peaceful. During this time period, you might remember they took over Hungary by conquering it. Paradox. That's why they're there now. Because they conquered it. And then there's strong believers. What do the Serbs get? Religious patronage. Gain significant extra piety for constructing temple holdings. Gain renown when constructing upgrading temples. Monthly piety from buildings. Staunch traditionalists. Controlled territory defender advantage plus 5. That's pretty good. Stubborn trade is more common. Convert to local culture decision cost plus 300%, so Serbs don't convert their culture. And they can't create a hybrid culture either. It's much harder to hybridize with Serbian. But they get more control, but also their cultural fascination is lower. So they're not so smart, but they'll defend themselves and also refuse to convert to any other culture. Okay. Stalwart defenders. Defensive peace acceptance plus 10? Defensive war peace acceptance. Oh, from your enemy probably. Prestige from winning defensive wars, gold from winning defensive wars, defender advantage +5, garrison +25. Man, we can combine staunch traditionalist with stalwart defenders. You get +10 defender advantage. So, I guess, don't fuck with the Serbians unless you outnumber them. Yeah, but the county raids reduces 2 of that advantage. Neat. Where the Poles get? The Polish Poles. The Polish Poles that smell Poly. Is Poland exactly its culture? Oh, no, it has 1 extra Pomeranian territory right there. So, the Polish get staunch traditionalist, xenophilic county raids. Combining a trait that hates hybridizing cultures with a culture that loves other cultures. So they'll never become another culture ever, but they don't mind if you are one. But also, if you are one, they're definitely superior to you. Polish culture looks weak as shit, though. Not gonna lie. What do my Czechs get? Life is just a joke. Characters take bolder actions, and it is harder to make them intimidated or terrified. Characters of this culture lose stress on receiving a declaration of war. The gregarious, content, cynical, and fickle traits give increased opinion towards characters of the same culture. Mountain ruralism. This is when they can so see, they get development growth in hills and mountains. They get rough terrain expert. They get better quarries and hills. They can get mountain commanders, and they get their unique Zabroshnaj unit. They get good castle keepers, and they're industrialists. So the Czech build well. They also build well in mountains, despite having hella farmlands as well. The Czech actually get a pretty solid list of traits here. It's pretty good. That's a pretty good list of trades. What do the Italians get? Formation fighting experts. Okay, so they get the same bullshit. Oh no, wait, the Greek one is the Eastern Roman legacy is the broken one. The Italians get Republican legacy. Rulers of this culture can appoint up to 4 counts to be overseers of local cities, turning them into Republican vassals. This tradition allows a culture to unlock the pike columns innovation in the high medieval. City holdings give more taxes, development and levies, city holdings gain significantly lower control. So, Republican legacy is basically, yeah, it's basically parochialism, but better. Refined poetry, they do lots of poetry, and then they fight well with men-at-arms. Spearmen and archers. So they do spearmen and archers really well. And then they get a unique spearman unit over here. That's a unique spearman unit, the pike columns. So they just get better spearmen. So what do the Maghrebi get? Do they possibly get anything so they don't die early in the game? Although wait, are any of you Maghrebi? No, you're Bedouin, you're Baranas. Maghrebi is gone in this start date? Oh, okay, what does Baranas get? African tolerance, well... Rulers are less likely to demand conversion from their vassals. Different faith opinion, different faith popular opinion. It doesn't have anything to do with Africa, it's just... You like other faiths. Okay. Maghrebi, so that would be the earlier start date. Maghrebi, yeah, okay, this is pretty much what I figured. They put all the work into Maghrebi, but the problem is that in this start date, in the 1066 start date, Maghrebi culture is already getting wiped out. Yeah, these are all Bedouins. So... Maghrebi culture got the work, but coastal advantage, supply capacity, coastal holdings, provide additional defender advantage. Drylands Dwellers, which is, again, really fucking good. If you played the earlier start date with the Maghreb start, this would be really fucking strong. Xenophiliac, Mazarism, everything. This is all really good. As a whole, they like other faiths better. They like other cultures better. The desert and drylands, see, these combine, so you get really good desert and drylands, and then you get a unique unit, then you get a desert warrior, and then your coastal advantage and shit. So this is actually, Maghrebi, as I suspected, got all the work, because Paradox doesn't realize that when you do the later start date, Maghrebi culture has died out, and Baranis culture is kind of shit. Mountain herding can recruit Abu Drar. The rough terrain expert is more common. The desert warrior trade is also more common. Desert mountains and desert mountains get better development growth and construction costs. You can get mountain commanders. Some commanders so they just like desert mountains. There's not really that many desert mountains. The Almoravids. What do you count as? Booters? Yeah, booters. Equal inheritance. Saharan nomads. Saharan nomads gives you movement speed, development growth, races. Light cav maintenance minus 25. Light cav recruitment minus 25. Desert rabbits. Okay, so this is recruit the Mullah Daman. I've never heard of that unit in my life. Hold up here. Is that one of the new units? I know they added 4 new units. Okay, here we go. Yes, it is new. Okay, I'm not crazy. It is new. So it's unlocked by the tradition Desert Rabbits for the Berber heritage. So Berbers get a unique new unit. I don't know what it does, though. Oh, wait. I can literally go check by just swapping my character. Okay, so what do you do? So you are a light horseman who does not cost more than a regular light horseman. You have the exact same stats. Oh, no, you have slightly more screening, so they retreat better. Now, regular light horsemen get a bonus in plains and drylands, not farmlands though. A pretty solid damage bonus in plains and drylands. They get a reduction in hills, mountains, desert mountains, and wetlands, and they do worse in winter. So any sort of hilly terrain they do worse in, and in wetlands, but they do good in plains and drylands. Now, these people, the Mullah Thamun, they do good in drylands and desert and plains and oasis. But these people don't actually get an advantage in desert. So they get a mountains and still wetlands. They get the same penalty? Mountains 8, 10. So they actually get a lower penalty in mountains as well. So they're basically better light cavalry. And so they just get a bonus in desert and oasis. The oasis bonus, I guess, is neat. And they still get a... They also screen better, so they're just basically a better light cavalry in every way. Okay, and what else do we do? So they get desert warrior trait more often. The mystic trait is more often. Prowess per level of devotion. So they fight pretty well and get a unique unit that fights pretty well. Equal inheritance. Can exact equal gender law. All characters with male-dominated, opinion of female release plus 10. All characters with female-dominated, opinion of male release plus 10. I did not realize this game got so kinky. I'm gonna be honest, Desert Ribbats, the unique unit is pretty good, but when you compare, like, this is, so they get their men-at-arms, and then they get the Desert Warrior trait, right? And Mystic trait and Prowess per level 1 of Devotion. So it's kind of neat, but, like, when you compare that to, for example, just Druzina, or, Chansan Dagast, or, what are some of these other ones? Eastern Roman Legacy? Or, oh wait, I didn't realize, wait, where can Castilians get their unique unit type? Is it just... I guess it's just innovation. Okay. Oh, wrong one. So, yeah, I think it's like neat, but compared to the other texts that give you a unique unit, it's not exactly that great. Though I guess some texts like Castilian, they don't even get a unique cultural thing for their unit. But then you have like the Horse Lord. I think the Horse Lord, because that 10% movement speed is crazy. I'm like stuck. I can't move. There we go. That was annoying. So what are the other ones I did? The Manaspa. That's the Georgians. Oh, I think I looked at the Georgians earlier. They didn't really wow me. The Caucasian Wolves. Supply limit mountains. Supply limit in desert mountains. Levy size in mountains and desert mountains. You get the Manansa Men-at-Arms, the Rough Terrain Expert is more common, mountain bonuses, blah blah blah. Metal Workers, wait, what is that? Army Gold Maintenance, but Army Toughness. Is that Levy? So the entire Georgian Levy is tougher? That's interesting. I don't think anyone else just improves their levies, do they? Isn't everyone else men-at-arms? Royal armies building additional bonuses. Blacksmith has additional bonuses. Huh. That's pretty good, not gonna lie. The rest of them was okay. I mean, it's just Castle Keepers again. And what were the other ones? Let's see. The Desert... Oh, the Nile Archers. And the Garuda Warriors in Dravidian. Actually, I'm gonna look at Dravidian real quick. Dravidian... Aren't you over here? Yeah, you are over here. Are they just here? Garuda Warriors is only in Canada? Huh. Aria people got Lord of the Elephant. Elephant cavalry damage and toughness and maintenance reduction and recruitment. See, the problem I have with this is that this one allows you to get, oh, you can get better elephants, but then you compare that to like the Greek one, the Eastern Roman Legacy. I mean, I guess a levy size and reinforcement rate is bad of a nerf, but just getting men-at-arms maintenance minus 15%, all men-at-arms right at game start, just feels ridiculous to me. Particularly when you have some of these other people that only get it on like one damage type as their best thing, you know? So what do the Garuda Warriors do? Is that just, No, it's not just warrior culture. Okay, so you can get the Lenka's Men-at-Arms. You can appoint knights to the Garuda Warrior court position, increasing their prowess as well as likeliness that they will die in battle. Well, that seems exploitable. The martial education traits are more valued, the Craven and blah blah, blah traits. So Garuda Warriors is basically the Frenchy thing, but different. Modest. Ambitious trades looked down upon. Temperate trade is more common. Okay. Pastoralists. You get pastoralists get prowess. Okay. Disease resistance increase. Prowess increase. This pastoral line of buildings have additional bonuses. Let's see. Do they get agrarian? Yeah, I figured these people would get agrarian. I figured all the mega cultures would get agrarian to stop them from being super broken. So agrarian gives you reduced prowess, and your men-at-arms recruitment cost goes up, but you get hella development in farmlands and floodplains, which there's a lot of farmlands in northern India, and there's a lot of floodplains in Egypt. So, they're gonna develop pretty decently. They get ruling casts, city keepers. I've seen that before. It didn't really wow me, so I'm not gonna look at it. Okay, so the Rajashtani, they should get something better. The Kaja Puja. Martial education traits are more valued. Knight effectiveness increase. Blade master traits have additional bonuses. Can recruit the Kandiat men-at-arms. Malvi gets that. Who gets that? Is it only these people? What's a Kandiat unit? I've never seen a Kandiat unit. Is that new? I didn't read it there. Kandiat, that's a heavy infantry that does more damage than a regular heavy infantry. And it fights better in the jungle, but it costs more. So they do more damage, fight better in the jungle, but they cost more. That's yeah. I'll look at to pet. Let's see. Let's look at this thing. Himalayan settlers and sacred mountains. Okay, so these ones are interesting. The problem, oh wait, archer cavalry maintenance, heavy, wait, but they can't get archer cavalry. Wait. Interesting. So you would have to play a Turk. Are there any horse breeders over here? No, they're all horse lords. Oh no. So these... You're a horse breeder. The thing is, you would want to get horse breeder culture, because horse breeder reduces the maintenance and recruitment cost on your archer cavalry. So if you're going to stack nothing but horse archers, you would want to get horse breeders in. But the Turks, the only ones with horse breeders are these people who can't even get... These people can't even get horse archers. Plus, here's the thing, horses fight worse in mountains. What do you think Tibet is? So, the Bapta culture... Yeah, so let's look at Himalayan settlers. Can recruit mountaineers, men-at-arms. So it's just a heavy infantry that fights well in mountains. Toilet growth in mountains increase. Buildings construction in mountains, the cost decrease. You get mountaineers. So you fight well in mountains and you can develop mountains. That's pretty... That's a temple thing. Himalayan settlers is actually pretty good. Now, what is this one? Sacred mountains. Gain piety when constructing buildings and holdings of the mountain or desert mountains. Holding taxes in mountains. Oh, well, that's shit. 5% tax? Who gives a shit? They couldn't even made it 10% like the other ones? Yeah, now these ones get horse breeders and horse lords. Prolific hunters. They can hunt a lot. Step tolerance. Does everyone get step tolerance? Nope. The Oga's people do not get steppe tolerance. I guess it's only the more Mongol-y people in the east that get it. Steppe tolerance. Counties of this culture are more easily converted to another faith. Rulers are more likely, or less likely to demand conversion from their vassals. Different faith opinion, different popular opinion, faith conversion costs, faith creation, reformation costs. So the Mongols are really good at making people different cultures. The Horse Lords is probably because you get the Horse Archer, and that thing's fucking broken. No, I wouldn't call it broken. It's really good. But getting extra movement speed is also good. That's one of the best stats you can do. Supply duration is really good. Supply penalty negated in steps is also really, really good. Light cavalry damage and screen, yeah. Malleable invaders. Creating a hybrid culture requires 50% less culture acceptance. Hybrid culture creation cost reduction. Convert to local culture, decision cost reduction. So the Cuman people like to convert their culture a lot. Tribal unity. This just does you like to have one giant house. Are the Mongols extremely unstable? In this game, they don't really do anything, if you want me to be honest. What are the Burmese people? Royal Army. Can recruit palace guards. That's a special heavy infantry. The Jungle Stalker trait. Jungle Stalker? Attrition taken in jungle. Negate supply penalty in jungle. Advantage in jungle. Okay. Elephant cavalry damage and toughness. Or like some blue and some are red and some are white. Okay, Jungle Warriors. The Jungle Stalker's commander kit is more common. Levy size, supply limit. Okay, so Jungle Warriors is Royal Army, but shittier. Oria, Lord of the Elephant. That one's really, really good, though. Orian elephants would be terrifying. And I think that's it. I'm pretty sure I've gone through everything, right? Oh, Anglo-Saxon. Herds can recruit Huskarls. Oh, because they're not English yet. Yes, there's still technically... Yeah, they're not English. Now I think I've gone through everything. Right? Is there anything I haven't gone through? I'm pretty sure I've gone through every major culture. Oh wait, the Nubians. Okay, so they get agrarian. They fight worse and their men-at-arms recruitment is higher. But agrarian affects floodplains, of which they have a pretty decent amount. They get land of the bow, defender advantage, levy size in floodplains. Recruit Nile archers, hunting grounds will improve archers. So they get good archers. They get good... Let's see. Oh, I like other cultures. They're good at being diplomats. They can learn lots of languages. They get warrior queens. They can have equal gender law, female only gender law, female preference gender law, and they're agrarian. So they're kind of good at sitting back and just using their Nile archers. Now, how good are Nile archers? Let's swap over here for a second. Now, Nile archers are more expensive than bowmen, but have a decent amount more damage, a decent amount more toughness, plus they get pursuit and screening, so they can chase people down or run away better. Bowmen are good in hills, forest, and taiga. Nile archers are good in floodplains, oasis, and drylands, but fight worse in desert. Floodplains, oasis... And they get a fucking ludicrous advantage in floodplains. 15 damage and 15 toughness. So they're stronger than a... Yeah, a Nile archer would obliterate a heavy infantry, and that's not even including... Okay. So the Nile Archer is like one of the strongest units in the game if they fight in a floodplain. Even in a dry land, they're stronger than a heavy infantry. By far. Because they get... Yeah, the additional attack and defense they get by default, then these bonuses. Okay, the Nile Archers might have been a bit overcompensated, let's call it. A little overcompensated. Is that it? Oh, I suppose we could look at some of these, the Yorubas. Bush hunting. Okay, so you get jungle and dry lands. Hidden cities. Fort level for tribes in jungle terrain. Fort level for castles in jungle terrain. Development growth in jungle plus 35%. Building construction cost in jungle reduction. That one's pretty solid. Hidden cities. That means that these jungles you start in, you can actually build up. Neat. Bush hunting. That gives you the bush hunters. Now the bush hunters, until the Nile Archers, I think the bush hunters were the best unit in the game. Yeah, bush hunters cost the same as a bowman, but with more damage, more defense. They're one worse than the Nile Archers. They get less pursuit and screen than the Nile Archers as well. Plus their bonuses are worse. They get jungle, forest, hills. So the Nile Archers have, though they're more expensive, the Nile Archers have probably usurped the bush hunters as the best cultural unit type. I think the bush hunters also got nerfed. Didn't they used to be cheaper than a bowman? They were cheaper and stronger than a bowman. And now they're not. So I think they got nerfed a little bit. And that's it. So the 4 new men-at-arms, the Georgians, the Berbers, the Nile Archers, and the Guerrilla Warriors. Who's messaging me? African cultures are pretty broken? I mean, it was mostly these people, but the problem with these people was they just had extremely broken bush hunters. The bush hunters got nerfed, but now they can actually build up jungle, which is neat, because that means all this shit down here isn't useless to you now. Hidden cities is pretty strong too. Well, 80 cities is what gives you the development growth, but the thing is with that is it makes you defendable as well, and it lets you build up equal inheritance is whatever. Philosopher culture. Well, wait. Why do the Yoruba people get good learning? Huh. Bush hunters as a whole, the trait as a whole is pretty weak too. So, I think by nerfing the bush hunters and then just by general power creep, it's not really top tier. Because if we compare that to like, not you. What was the other one I was looking at? I was literally just looking at it. Yeah, like we look at that to like Land of the Bow, which gives you defender advantage and garrison size and all that shit. Bush hunting gives you like the jungle trait, which is neat. Oh wait, no, you don't even get the jungle trait. You just get extra bonuses in jungle and dry terrain, but you don't actually get the higher chance to get them, like the other cultures do. So yeah, these southern tribes went from being blatantly really overpowered to now they just get a really good unit. It's still really good, but yeah. Gone are the days of just spamming nothing but bush hunters and conquering all of Africa with just a bunch of African archers that just obliterate everyone. Well, okay, actually, okay, we don't look at the Yoruba people, though. Oh, but wait. The Yoruba are the only people... Let's see, no. Okay, so these people on the right, they get bush hunting and hidden cities, but the Yoruba get equal inheritance. So what are we trading? You can trade philosopher culture for parochialism, for the great city building culture of southern Africa? That one might be a little bit ahistorical for me. Recognition of talent. Prisoners are more likely to accept recruitment, gain a positive opinion modifier when recruited, and the recruiter gets a strong hook, gains better knights from the invite champions. The grad party interaction gets much more positive opinion and strong hook. Yeah. Practice pirates. Oh yeah, these people can pirate raid at any time. They're pretty cool. The problem is, I think you would have to go with hidden cities. That's like the only thing that makes this good. With the massive nerf to the bush hunters, I think if you wanted to play in this area, you would have to start in an area with hidden cities so you could actually develop the jungle. Because you can't just rely on spamming bush hunters indefinitely from now on. Well, I mean, you probably still could against the AI, but it just wouldn't be as strong. Caravaneers. Wanderers gain extra economic skills over time, diplomatic range, and movement speed. That's pretty good. And you build cities better, and you get a family business. Taken as a whole, it's not really that... Musical theorists. The new people play lots of cool music. The Melink people. The Guinean Uplanders. So, oh, right, here's the other reason that the bush hunters did really good. When you look at the cultures, these southern jungle cultures all got archers, and then these middle cultures all got light infantry, and archers beat light infantry. So all these people would spam their bush hunters and then just obliterate the people up here. So what do these people get? They get the upland skirmishing, which gives you levy and spy limit and hills, rough terrain combat expert. I mean, that's not much better than the Yoruba people, but I think the bush hunter is just overall a better trait, I think. Unless they buffed the Guinean Uplander. I mean, the big thing is the bush hunter doesn't give you... It doesn't actually give you a higher chance on getting the trait, it just makes it better. That seems like a bit of an oversight. What is Sorcerous Metallurgy? So these people are trying to turn metal into gold. Okay. Costs more gold to sponsor characters as culture with a weapon inspiration. Characters as culture produce higher quality artifacts. Characters as culture gain piety from the barracks line of buildings. So you can get prowess per level of devotion. That's okay. Charitable. Monthly income reduction. General opinion increase. Generous trade is more common. Compassionate trade is more common. Opinion from send gifts is increased. Roses culture uses the send gift interaction more often. Now which one is the Songhai people? Gur, maybe? Ancient miners. Acquire lines building with additional bonuses. Yeah, okay, whatever, that's weak. These people are just... The bootier people are looking pretty good with their unique light cavalry that fights really well in drylands. Prowess per level of devotion is pretty good. The desert warrior trait is better. Then the Saharan nomads is pretty good too. The light cavalry maintenance. Oh, I forgot that one too. You get the movement speed and the light cavalry maintenance reduction. So you could spam a shitload of those light cavalry and then run around and massacre people. You get development in Oasis, but from what I remember, Oasis aren't too common, right? Which one are Oasis? This is floodplains, this is wetlands. Wetlands isn't actually good. Which one's Oasis? Oasis is the white one. Yeah, so you want your cities to be an Oasis. If they're not an Oasis, you're not gonna do good at all. And from what I remember... Yeah, Oasis get plus 10, so... I think that's everyone. West Africa was probably more advanced in Northern Europe during medieval times. I'm not gonna say I disagree with you, but I mean, it's not like the Norse were terrible. They did a good blacksmithing. If you're talking about Western Africa, I mean, are you talking about... You're talking about Morocco, right? You're not talking about, like, Sub-Sahara. Like, 5 oases? I mean, there's... I mean, that's a double oasis. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I mean, there's not that many, yeah. So, I think the main thing, though... It's not even about the development, growth, and oasis. It's about the movement speed and light cav maintenance is pretty strong. Because if you look at horse lords, the movement speed, light cavalry damage. Here it's movement speed, light cavalry maintenance. The desert ribbets is... Kind of sucks that the Baranis culture... Is the Baranis culture the only one now getting the Abu Jar men-at-arms? Is the Abu Jar even any good? You're Baranis, right? Yeah. Abu Jar. I don't remember the Abu Jar actually being that good. Yeah, it's a really expensive, heavy-hitting light footman. They fight well in mountains, desert mountains, and hills, but they fight worse in desert. Even though light footman doesn't get a nerf in desert, light footman fights well in forests and shit. The Abu Jar is nearly twice as expensive and does desert mountain. So they basically have just removed everyone from using the Abu Jar because it's shit. Does it do anything else? Building cost in mountains, desert mountains, development growth in desert mountains. It's not really that good. I mean, the only thing it does well is you get rough terrain expert and desert warrior commander trait are more common. But the problem is you can't even use your, like, it's just stupid. The Abu Jar is just bad. It's just actually a bad unit type. Somali people, mountain skirmishing, you get typical desert mountain buff, drylands dwellers, desert drylands buff. I mean, that one's pretty good, but I don't, do they get... Well, they do get some drylands. Very few desert. That one's really good because it makes your drylands crazy strong. What do the Ethiopians get? Highland, no, sorry, Amharic Highlanders. Advantage in hills. You get the Sarowitz later. I think that's a light infantry. It's okay. Development growth in hills. Buildings, construction in hills. Well, this one's fucking insane. Not only do you get a unique unit, but your hill farms are stronger, and you can castrate, and you have advantage in hills, and you get development bonus in hills, and you get building construction cost in hills. So what is isolationist? Cultural acceptance gain reduction, diplomatic range reduction, same culture opinion increase, culture, you get control growth increase. Very unlikely to arrange marriages outside their culture. Marriage acceptance reduction to other cultures. So they just sit back, believe in Coptic, and build temples while defending their Coptic land. Are they mostly hills? They are mostly hills. So this Amharic Highlander is kind of crazy though. Advantage in hills and development growth in hills and Islamic, god damn it, you just Freudian slipped me, chair, and building reduction, building cost reduction hills. So those are all pretty good. Those are all pretty good. Okay, now did I miss anything? I think I've gone through everything. The Daju people. Although, actually, the Nubians could just immediately run down here and eat dryland dwellers. And then they can make these drylands and deserts way stronger. The Germans kind of look like shit, not gonna lie. I don't think the Germans actually got a unique culture thing, did they? The Germans look terrible. How did the Germans get so little effort? The Dutch got a unique culture tech, but not the Germans? The French look pretty cool. The problem with the French is it's all unified in the French kingdom at game starts. You can't really do much with that. Okay, so where do I want to play, chat? So far, I think the Georgians could look kind of cool, just so you defend against invasions, and you have these strong invasion shit. The army maintenance, it's their army toughness for metalworkers also looks kind of cool. The Czech looked pretty strong. The problem with playing the Czech is I've done it a lot. That you just kind of go mega tall, and then you crush everyone underfoot if needed. I think maybe we just play France. We could play French and be a French noble being all French and shit. They do 867 or 1066? Let's do 1066 actually. Oh, I didn't look at the Irish. Oops. Okay, let's who do we want to play here? The Duke of Aquitaine? No. The Duke of Toulouse? No. You, 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 no. You. Oh, isn't Anjou actually one of the recommended starts? How's this guy 26? He looks like he's 70. You, no. You, no. You, no. You, no. You. Oh, let's do the Count of Berry. I'm going to create my own ruler. Let's see, we'll be 20 years old. Weight. Average weight. Let's do. Achievement limit 400. Well, what's my French name going to be? A random French name. Clotaire. Roger. Roger? Bernard. Henry. I kind of like Henry. We'll come back to that. Gauthier, Gouges, Engelbert, Arnold, Guilhem, Arnaud, Leon, Bouchard, Henry. Okay, I guess we're doing Henry. Frankish, French, Catholic. Random? No, we'll be heterosexual to now. We must customize our title. The Duke of Berry. The Berrien. Okay, I like it. Okay, let's start from scratch. What is the coat of arms of Berry going to be, chat? Actually, you know what? Let me restart my stream. I'm gonna quick restart my stream. I think... Actually, should I? Yeah, I'm gonna restart my stream because I want to do like I want to play. Do I want to play through this or not? I don't know. Yeah, I think I want to actually play through this. So, one of those. Hold on here, chat. Hold on here, chat. I'm not gonna make you guys have to do anything. I'll do it myself. Okay, now when I end the stream, you guys should be redirected. Okay.